Marcus Freeman. He'll make an opening statement, and then we'll open it up for questions. So please raise your hand, and we'll bring a microphone to you for your question. I'll turn it over to Coach.
Yeah, really good. Really proud and really proud of our seniors and the way they went out there and performed for 60 minutes. It's a special group, man, that led us in this past, 14 days since the last time we played. They led us to practice the way that we had to prepare to give us a chance to be successful out there today. So it's a special group that obviously played their last game in Notre Dame Stadium. You think about the 500th game in Notre Dame Stadium. It's something special. This place is special. The history, the people, the ones that have come before us, man, that give us this opportunity to be here. Our fans were incredible. You think about last game of the year. Sold out crowd. You could feel the fans, the atmosphere, and so it's just a reminder of how awesome and grateful we are for this opportunity to be a part of this place, be a part of this football program. With obviously Jack and Father John, and it meant a lot to me personally to be able to get this win for their last game in Notre Dame Stadium. And we're all motivated by different things, but that was a huge part of my motivation. And I'm really happy we were able to do that. So with that, I'll open up for questions.
We'll start with Tyler Horka.
Coach, just sticking to the theme of this being special and this being a special place, just tallied it up. You guys outscored opponents here 262-71 at Notre Dame Stadium. Outside of what happened against Ohio State, obviously, but then just kind of rebounding from what happened last year against Marshall, against Stanford. How were you guys able to be so good at this venue?
Tyler, we talk about it often how special it is to play in Notre Dame Stadium. The history, the tradition. We take pride in our performance in Notre Dame Stadium, and that doesn't excuse us for, obviously the performances that we have to have on the road. But I think there's a sense of pride when you come out of that locker room, you touch that play like a champion sign that you carry when you take this field.
Sam was a little shaky early, understandable considering who he was going against, but then he really got it going, made some really nice throws. What did you see out of his performance, and just to send him out of this place this way, what did that mean to you?
He's a poster child for consistency. We tried to create some early success, some early easy throws. One was dropped or maybe thrown a little bit high, but he was able to just really get to the sideline, focus on what he had to do. Hey, what did you see? And really went out there and performed really well. And it can't be easy. I've done it as a coach. I remember a couple years ago we played Cincinnati, all right, and there is normal distractions that the human element presents when you play a team, an opponent where every person on that side like Sam does. It's different. He was with those guys for 5 years with that coaching staff. And so for him to be able to put that distraction away and really perform the way he did is a testament to who he is and the confidence and the consistency that he provides.
We'll go to John Bryce to your right in the front.
Hey, Marcus. Offense scored on 4 consecutive possessions and seizing control of the game and finished with like 450 yards, just the one late turnover. How much of that is what you've kind of expected to see from this group all along, and how much was it needed?
It definitely was needed. I think, the confidence when you don't have the performance that you aspire to have, it messes with your confidence, right? And you can be as courageous as you want, but still have a lack of confidence inside because of the performance, right? And so it was much needed. It's a testament to how they prepared, the adjustments they made, and the execution of the game plan. So I'm really happy for Coach Parker and that whole offensive staff, and then that offensive side of the ball. I was really pleased with the performance tonight.
You got back to your really aggressive use of timeouts late in the first half and got a blocked field goal out of it, and then got a field goal out of it. How important was that to maybe recapture that and send that message to your team again?
Yeah, I think there's been time. The majority of times I'm in that situation, again, I have the utmost confidence in our offense and Sam to march us down the field and try to create something positively. I know there's been a game or two that maybe something hasn't gone our way, and I kind of let the clock run out. I know at Clemson, after they got that first down, when we were on defense, I let him kind of just run out the clock. But, I have a lot of confidence in our offensive staff and our offensive game plan, and that was a reflection of why I called those timeouts today.
Up next, we'll go to Tyler James on your left in the second row.
Marcus, the wide receivers had a big game. Well, how important was that to have those guys come through, and not just Chris Tyree, who's been maybe the most consistent wide receiver this season?
Yeah, I think I saw Rico went over 100 yards, which is the first time for maybe any of our wideouts this year. And, it's just a testimony to just continue to battle, continue to prepare, continue to work, because you don't know when the opportunities present themselves. That was a conversation, a message I had to the team this week in terms of as individuals, you don't know when your opportunity is coming. It could be in the game. It can be if you're redshirting. It can be any different. It can be a coach. And you just have to continue to make the choice to work, to do the thing everybody wants. That's what I said. Everybody wants to catch 100 yards and have 100 yards receiving. But who's willing to put the work in that it takes so that when the opportunity presents itself like today, that you do it. And so it was good to see that. I saw Tobias had a big catch, and I called Tobias. I was walking to the training room, and he was in there studying film and studying action by himself. And I remember saying, like, that's an example of what I'm talking about. Continue to put that work in. At some point, it's going to be rewarded. And I said something to him after he scored that TD catch that, that's a reflection of your preparation. So they have to believe that. I don't really believe in luck. I am a faithful person, but I believe in cause and effect. And so you have to continue to put the work in. And at some point, if you do it the right way and you're consistent in how you put the work in, you will have the effect that you want. You will have the production and performance you want.
And then what was the importance of keeping Audric Estime in to get him over 100 yards at the end of the game?
Yeah, I'm never a huge fan of that because there's just, me, I'm always thinking, okay, this game is over. It's only fair to the kid, but we talked about it and we wanted to get him over 100 yards, and I think he ended up having 115, and that was important to us to, possibly his last game in Notre Dame Stadium, to be able to get him over 100 yards, and so it was good for him to do that.
We'll go to Eric next in the front row on the far right.
Hey, Coach, it's been a long road back for Eli Raridon, and I know you mentioned earlier in the season there's been some mental hurdles. Did you see something during the bye week, during this last week, where you thought, hey, today is coming?
It wasn't one thing. It was just accumulation of weeks and practices. And when he finally was cleared to play, and from where he was in to now, it's just a process of him gaining that confidence. And he's not he's not at his full potential yet. He'll continue to gain that confidence. But I think today was a great reflection of how far he's come since he's been cleared medically. And for him to have some of those catches and, get hit low, and it gives him that confidence that, hey, I'm going to be just fine.
As Sam Hartman certainly had times during his life and his career where he's had to battle back against adversity, and certainly his last game, statistically, he had to battle back. I'm just wondering what you saw from him leading up to the game, and how closely do his teammates watch that?
I mean, when you're the quarterback, you're the leader just because of the position you're in, and everybody's going to watch the way you prepare. The one thing I've said with Sam Hartman, I said earlier, he is the model of consistency, right? And that his approach isn't dictated off of what happened in the previous game or who we're playing. It's his approach is his approach. The way he prepares is the way he prepares. And I even challenge him to, in some way, find a way to do it even better, right? Because he wants a better result. We all want better results. How do we continue to do what we do but do it better? And so his teammates see the way he works. His teammates, see the work he puts in, and he has a lot of respect from everybody in this program.
We'll go to Pete on your far left in the third row.
Coach, 6 home games this year. I think your defense allowed 8 touchdowns total. I know you're just out of the moment here, but if you reflect on that, I mean, just how impressive is that to you? And aside from the pride you spoke about earlier, how much of an identity of this program is that becoming?
Obviously, defense of football has a special place in my heart just because of how I've grown up in the game. And I was talking to Coach going after the game, and, I mean, we're upset about 7 points, and we're really upset about 7 points. you know, and they did some good things in the first half that really we hadn't seen on film, but the adjustments that we could make, that Coach Golden can make. It's credit to Coach Golden and their staff that they could make, and man, they have answers, you know, and they're able to get the adjustments to the players, and the players can go out there and execute. And so I've always had a mindset: if they don't score, they don't win, and we have to evaluate ourselves, every individual, right? And that's a reflection, I think, of our entire team. Is it's easy to point the finger at somebody else, and all that does is make you feel better about yourself. That doesn't help our team get better. And so I know tomorrow we're going to be in there and we're going to critique every single play. And I'm sure defensively there's going to be a lot to improve from, but I like to be upset about 7 points.
The decision to make the onside kick in the third quarter, was that just a look they gave you or something that you guys have been wanting to try for a while?
We had seen it on film. You know, we had practiced it for a couple weeks, and we've seen it on film. And the first 2 kickoffs, we were like, it's there. And I'm like, it's not the right time. And I said, if we score again, let's do it. And it's at some point, if you're going to do it, you got to call it. If you believe that you can execute it, you have to call it, right? And there's no point of practicing something and getting a look that you're looking for and not calling it, you know. And so I told him, let's do it. And it was a great job by Coach Biaggi of preparing for that moment and executing when it mattered.
We'll do final questions with Pete Sampson in the front on your right.
Kind of building on the receiver point with Flores, Faison, Greathouse. I mean, they've all had flashes this year, but they've never all been on at the same time. Were they just ready for it as a freshman year? And I was interested, like, the job that Stuckey and Parker have done to sort of keep them going with it, because I mean, you guys have needed this.
Yeah. Yeah, Pete, I wish there was one thing that happened. You know, it's similar to the question I answered earlier. Like, it is a constant chase of improvement. And if you do that and you get these opportunities that we had today, you got to be ready to take advantage of it. But you don't know when we didn't know last week we were going to have we had a couple 3-and-outs, and we weren't rolling. We didn't have these opportunities, but that doesn't dictate on how you prepare. And so to me, it's a reflection of Coach Stuckey, Coach Parker, in the development and ability to get frustrated guys, right? And they're frustrated just like all of us were when you don't get the results you want. But frustration can't determine how you prepare. And to see Rico and those guys out there that were ready for the moment, although I'm going to have to talk to Rico about that ball he put on the ground, you know. But I'm proud of them, proud of the way they prepare. And now how do you handle some success? You know, and Rico had 100 yards. How do you prepare? How do you handle that? Do you continue to do the things that you're that you have to do to get better? And then when you get the next opportunity in 7 days, do you take advantage of it?
And on the flip side, your pass defense, like not just home but away. I mean, 7 touchdown passes all year. Like, what do you think have been the biggest ingredients for that being just essentially on all year?
Yeah, the ability to play pass defense is the confidence you have in your front 7 or 6 to stop the run, right? There's always that one defender. If you're going to commit him to the run game, where you're going to expose some things in the pass game, if you're going to put him in the pass game, then you have to believe you can stop the run with 6 guys up front, doing some things up front with your D-line. And so if you can't stop the run playing pass defense, then you're not going to be able to play a lot of pass defense. And so that's a credit to Coach Golden and different schemes we use in our pass defense, but we can't play coverage as what we can't play coverage if we don't believe we can stop the run with a light box.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach.
All right. Thank you, guys.
We're going to have